Hello everyone, today we're going to look at usaco-training mixing milk. In this problem, we're given M farmers, which each have like the number of units of milk that farmer has, the price of each unit, and we're also given the number of milk we need, or the MMM company needs. And we're supposed to find the minimum price to purchase the milk we need. Okay, so for this sample, we're given that we want 100 units of milk, and then we're given 5 farmers. And then the first farmer will sell you 20 units at 5 cents per unit. And the second would sell you at 40 units of milk at 9 cents per unit. The third one would sell you at 3 cents per unit for a total of 10 units, and so on. So for this case, it would be the best to buy all of farmer number 3, which is selling at 3 units, and then also would buy from farmer number 1, which is selling at 5 cents per unit. And then we're also supposed to buy all the 30 units from the 5th farmer. And then we're supposed to buy some of the 4th farmer. So this would be the cheapest cost of 630. Okay. So let's just write the farmers down so we can kind of keep track. So let's actually make a table. Let's call this cents. And then we should also have units. So cents is how much the farmer sells you, the rate, and the units is how much is available. So here for farmer number 1, we have 5, and then the units would be 20. And for the second farmer, we would have 9 and 40. Whoops. Okay, so for the third farmer, we have 3 units. 3 cents per unit and 10 units. Fourth one, we have 8 units and 80 units in total. For the last one, we have 6 cents and 30. So as the problem says, it's best to buy all of these 10 units. Oh yeah, and our goal is to have 100 units of milk. So the best way is to buy this whole thing, all these, this, and some of this. Okay. So actually, since we're trying to find the minimum cost, it's always best to try to always take the minimum rate to find the milk. So we should always start from the lowest rate of charge that we're given. So for this example, we should always start from buying from farmer number 3 because he's selling it at the least rate per unit. So we can kind of like greedily solve this. So we're given 100 units, right? So we're going to try to find we're going to try to take number 3. Okay, so since number 3 has 10 units, and then we have 100 units, we can just buy that 10 units, so we're left with 90 units. So this is how much we have, and then we spent 3 times 10. And then next, we would try to look at the next farmer with the least rate. So you would look at farmer number 1, which sells at 5 cents per unit. So then, since he has a total of 20 units and it is less than our current one, we can buy that too. So we can buy all of that. And then this would be 5 times 20, since we're buying 20 units at 5 cents per unit. Now we would look at farmer number 5, because it's the third farmer that is, or the farmer that is now available. So over here, we see that it has 30 units, and we need 70 more units. So we can just take that, and then this would be 6, since it's the rate, times 30. Okay, so then now we have 40 left, and then now we don't have this farmer, we don't have this farmer, we don't have this farmer. Okay, so we're left with this one and this one. So it would be best to take the farmer with 8 units. So we would take this one. Okay, so since this farmer has 80 units, but we only need 40 units, we can just take 40 units from here. So you would be left with 0 units to buy, and then our cost for this would be 8 times 40. And then now, since we just purchased our milk, so we don't need to purchase anymore. So now all we need to do is just sum this up. And for this, you would get 630. Okay. So let's get to coding. Okay. Okay, so let's include our file. Okay, so this problem is called milk, so we read from milk.in and write to milk.out. Okay, so we're given n and m. And n is the let's write this down. So n is the number of units of milk we need to buy. Number of units needed. And the m is number of farmers. Okay, so let's read n and m. Okay, so now we need to read the information of the m farmers. So you can use a for loop. Okay, so we're given the cost and then the units of milk available. So let's call this int cost, and the units. So you would read cost and units. Okay, so now we should have something to store. So we can use a vector of pair. Let's call this farmer as an f. So then now we need to push this into our vector. Okay, so you should need pushback. So here we should index it. The first element should be the cost. The second one should be units. Okay. Okay, so now we need to sort our vector by our cost from small to big, since we always want to take the farmer with the least number of cost, so we can get our optimal answer. And since sorting a pair automatically sorts it by the first element, we just make sure that here our first element is the cost, which is good. So now we can just sort it. So we can just do sort f.begin, f.end. Okay. Okay, so now we need to do this while. Actually, we can do this. We need to loop through each of the farmers. So I can go like int. So we're given m farmers. Okay, so if we don't need any more units, so if n is equal to 0, then we can just break. And we also should keep track of like our result. Okay, so at the end, we'll basically just print the result. We can do that later as well. Okay, now over here, we need to check if like how many units we're going to buy. Okay, so if the number of units available is less than our n, then we would just take the number of units available. Otherwise, we would just take n. So then the numbers we're going to buy is the minimum of n, and the f of I of second. And then we're also, so then you would say your result, it would add, and then the cost per unit, we would just multiply that. So it was the first times this. Okay. And now since we bought this many number of units, we need to subtract that from our n because we just bought it. And I think it is better to use, let's use a long since I think the constraints are pretty high. So here's long here. The cost should be long. Okay, so the result should also be a long. Yeah, okay, so for the sample input, we're given this. Okay, let's run it. Okay, so answer is 630, which is right. So I'm just going to submit it to check some ideas. Donglu 3. This problem is milk, and the language I'm using is C++11. Okay. So let's submit this. Mixing milk. Okay, looks like that is right. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Bye.